Hello and welcome to week 14 and chapter 10. Today we are going to go over chapter 10 and also I want to take a second and go over the syllabus. This is the 14th, so on the 16th, which is Thursday, you have your quizzes due for both chapters 9 and 10. You have your learning outcomes on page 216, not 18, and 240, not 242. And then submit and upload to Blackboard. Next week is a case study. It's a little bit different. We're going to do discussion boards instead of submitting through Blackboard. You're actually going to put your input on the discussion board. Your initial thread is due by 8 a.m. on the 21st, which is Tuesday. And then the responding to 2 students is due on April 23rd by 8 a.m. And then also you have your selling project paper, which is due also on the 23rd. The reason it's not due the following week is because the following week is Dead Week. Yes, we're only 2 weeks away from Dead Week, and we're only 3 weeks and a few days away from the end of the semester. And so Dead Week, we can't do anything new. The only thing I am doing on Dead Week is on Thursday of Dead Week, I will make your exam available. And then you have until 11 a.m. on May 9th to submit the exam. And you would submit it through Blackboard, uploading it onto Blackboard. You can do it before the 9th if you want to, that's fine. Now, I'm not going to grade them until after 11 o'clock in the morning on May 9th because I want all of the exams before I start grading. Okay. So if you get it done that first week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the first week that I give it to you, that's fine, but don't expect the grade before after 11 o'clock on May 9th. Okay, but please do not be late. 11 a.m. May 9th is the deadline, and it cannot be late. So I'd much rather you be early than late. Okay? That is our official exam time and day, and so that's when it'll be due. But that'll be the only thing you have to do on that week. I won't have any extra assignments, so I'll just assume that you all are studying for that take-home exam. If that's not the case, don't tell me. Okay, so let's go over chapter 10. Okay, adding value and self-leadership and teamwork. Okay, so the first thing is guiding oneself to do the right things and do them well. Here's a model. Stage 1 is setting goals and objectives. Stage 2 is territory analysis and accounts classification. Stage 3 is development and implementation of strategies and plans. Stage 4 is tapping technology and automation. Stage 5 is assessment and evaluation. So let's go over that a little bit. So here's an example of stage 1. Effective goals and objectives must possess 3 fundamental characteristics. They should be realistic yet challenging. And that's individual. It's realistic for you and yet challenging for you. So obviously 2 different people that are starting to work out would have very different goals that are realistic yet challenging. Okay? So you can't really compare yourself to anyone else. You have to compare yourself to your progress that you're making and to your goals that you're achieving. Goals should be specific and quantifiable. If you cannot measure it, it's not a goal. It would be more of a dream. Okay? So if you're starting to work out and you want to do a 5-minute mile, and right now you're at a 12-minute mile, that's measurable. Every day that you're practicing running the mile, you just have a stopwatch and you see how long it takes you to run the mile. You could break it down and see how much it takes you to run each quarter and see which quarter you're losing time, which quarter you can improve. But those are all measurable. If it's not measurable, then it's not achievable. And then the goal should be time specific. Okay, if you want to run a 5-minute mile and you want to do it by Labor Day of 2020. So you have 4 months basically to get in shape enough and quick enough to run a 5-minute mile. And that's your deadline. Okay. It's not mine, but it's just an example. Types of goals are personal. What I just went over would be a personal goal. Could be territory, could be an account, could be sales calls. Okay. Here's an example that they go through in different goals and dollar amounts. So you want to earn $70,000 for your annual income. It could be dependent on annual territory sales. So those would be the total sales, and you would get 11% commission off those sales. So that would be 66,000. And then it could be dependent on annual account sales, 19 equally sized accounts, $33,000. And then on sales call goal, each account is called on twice a month, and you get another $1,396. And then if you add all those up, it should come out to be $70,000 as far as 11% commission, your goal for this, your commission on this, and then the 1,900. And that would be breaking it down to get to the 70,000. Okay. Territory analysis, survey an area to determine customers and prospects who are most likely to buy. You only have 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week, and so you must focus on the prospects that are most likely to buy and most likely to buy enough that it's worth your time. If you're going in trying to sell something and if you're trying to sell t-shirts and they only want 10 t-shirts, that's fine as long as it's only going to take you a couple minutes to do the order and it's over. If that person or that company that wants 10 t-shirts and they're only going to buy 10 t-shirts every 3, 6, 8 months, and they're taking up hours and hours of your time, then you're never going to make the goal of earning $70,000 a year if that 10 t-shirt customer is taking up that much of your time. So you have to prioritize and focus on the customers that are going to fill your time with maximization of your income. So account classification, you have the process of categorizing existing customers and prospects based on the potential as a customer. Single factor analysis analyzes accounts based on a single factor. Going back to the 10 t-shirt, if all you're measuring is how many t-shirts they're buying, then that would be a single factor. Now, a portfolio would be if it's a graphic design and they're not only buying t-shirts, but they're buying the graphic design, how much money are you charging for the graphic design and going on with that? And that would be a portfolio analysis. And then you could go through the competitive position, strong or weak, with each one of those segments, 1, 2, 3, and 4, to actually break it down into exactly which customer would be worth the 36 calls per year versus the 6 calls per year. And then you schedule your activities, you write them down, keep plans current. If it's not written down, then it's very difficult to achieve the goal. You can write it on your phone, you can put it in your calendar, you can write it on a piece of paper and put it on your refrigerator door, whatever works for you. Incorporating information developing territory analysis and account classification helps minimize the encroachment of unproductive travel time. Okay, so these are examples of how to maximize your travel time. Here's the straight line routine, going from Dallas to San Antonio to Houston and back to Dallas. Here would be a cloverleaf routine where the center could be your office, and each one of these might be a day's worth of work so that you always end up back at your office so that you're not wasting time that way. Here is a circular or a spiral pattern, and then this would be a leapfrog, so you don't hit Springfield. You go to all these other ones except Springfield. There must be something special about Springfield that you don't want to go to Springfield on this trip. Could be that Springfield it's a separate trip. Could be a whole week just in Springfield for something specific, or it could be that the timing's not right. That the people that you're trying to meet don't want to meet in the time that fits in that schedule there. Then the last one is major routes. This is when you follow the major routes within a city, and that way it frees up your time. Now these major routes might be a little bit altered if there's a traffic problem. So this might be your route for today, and all of a sudden you find out that there's a huge accident there. So you have to do alternative routes to get around the accident so that you're not tied up with that. And that comes with being flexible. You have to be up to date with the latest technology and automation tools to do deal analytics, high-tech sales support offices, working from home now that the COVID-19 is dominating the globe, actually, completely changes the technology that people would normally use. And that's why it's very difficult to find a webcam now, because everyone's purchased them for their home offices. Okay, increasing customer value through teamwork. Obviously, all the people that work in all these different departments affect your customer's experience. So you want everyone in each of these departments to treat your customer as you would, so that you can keep the customer. And you want to help them with that task, so that if a person can't get it shipped out because of the COVID-19, the shipping is changed, you may actually take it yourself to get it delivered on time. Whatever it is that these people need to satisfy your customers' desire or wants and needs to make them a permanent customer is what you need to do to work as a team. Compromise solutions is the worst one because everybody loses something. Compromise is awful. You want this one, of course, where everyone gets something, everyone wins, and no one has to give up anything. So that's what you're working for, is get to a win-win. And then here's our terms. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I hope you have a great week. Take care.